Relentless by Timothy S. Grover. This guy trained Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, and a handful of other legends in basketball. It's like the three names in basketball who are known by people who don't even care about basketball. That's how legendary they are. They were trained by this guy, this author. And what does this author have to say? From good to great to unstoppable. Welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel and I want to make self-growth normal. If you want to make self-growth normal, because I don't want to do it alone, and who doesn't want to make self-growth normal, then make sure to smash that like button. In this review, I'm going to summarize the book. Obviously. I think that's what people do in reviews. I'm going to talk about the different chapters, what I thought of them, some things they reminded me of, what I would have changed about it, some standout quotes from the book. I'm also going to talk about who I recommend this book to, and there are more standout quotes from this book than probably any book I've reviewed in a while, to be honest. And I'm also going to talk about what books to maybe check out next. The introduction to this book is called Don't Think. And it's brilliant. It's so smart because, simply put, it's just so dumb. Like, it's just what a lot of people probably need to hear. This book it has this energy to it that I'm convinced many of us probably can't handle. If they can, it only sways them further in a direction of thinking less. A lot of us, let's be honest, you hopefully have seen people interact with each other. You've interacted with people. A lot of us, I hope you could agree, think little enough. But anyone who's a master at what they do, they have so much thinking going on up there. To say they don't think is just absurd. If I were the author and I said don't think, I would mean that you need to get to a point where thinking consciously is completely unnecessary and that you need to do fast. Before we really dive into the book, there's something called the cleaner you are, the dirtier you get. In this, he explains like a lot of core differences between three, what I like to say is just call identities of different achievers, competitors, the coolers, the closers, and the cleaners. The fact that all three of them are each two syllables and begin with the letter C makes them a little hard to distinguish from each other at first, but the more you hear it, the more you're like, okay, I'm like this, but I'm also like this, and here's how I can be more like that. The coolers are the good, the closers are the great, and the cleaners are the unstoppable. From there is a list of 13 different things that occur when you are a cleaner. Let's talk about those, shall we? When you're a cleaner, you push yourself farther when everyone else has had enough. You really do understand how he trains people, like his methods throughout the book. And it's interesting, like, because these guys are animals. I mean, again, and I feel like I can't stress this enough. This was written by the man who trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, and Charles Barkley, and Dwayne Wade. R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant, by the way. It's one of the terrible things that happened in 2020. One of the best things about these people is that they inspire people who don't even care about basketball. When you're a cleaner, you get into the zone, you shut out everything else, control the uncontrollable. This one, and to be honest, a couple of these reminded me a little of Robert Greene, something he would write in Laws of Human Nature, my favorite Robert Greene book. Ask a lot of Robert Greene fans, they might not say that one, but it's mine. But Grover says that, like, getting in the zone per se, it happens when a button is pushed. And it reminds me of Greene because the button is accessed from where what he calls the dark side. Sometimes it's an insult. Sometimes it's the sight of blood. Sometimes it is a challenge to the player's manhood. Or maybe womanhood, because you never know who reads these books, really. I'm sure it wasn't written for strictly male basketball players. I mean, like, this book is very well known amongst like salespeople and entrepreneurs and the like. When you're a cleaner, you know exactly who you are. By the way, the chapter format of Relentless is just delightful. It's pristine, it's simplistic. He doesn't even number the chapters. He says they're all of equal importance. No other book I can name does this. In this chapter, he encourages us to learn for ourselves, about ourselves, so we can build upon what we are, as opposed to just researching everything. I need to take note of this. I always need to take note of this. Me and every self-development book reviewer, okay? When you're a cleaner, you have a dark side that refuses to be taught to be good. This one section stood out from the dark chapter. I don't know why. This stuff always fascinated me, and you know why? Because of Robert Greene. At a certain age, you were taught those things are bad. Don't touch, don't look, don't say that. So you stuffed them away and learned you shouldn't want them, could have had them, but instead you could just crave for more until you got frustrated hiding who you really were, admitted the truth to yourself, and finally did what you always wanted to do. Staying safe means being limited, and you can't be limited if you're going to be relentless. When you're a cleaner, you are not intimidated by pressure, you thrive on it. He says that, you could practice. This guy's just, it's a very unconventional thinking. You can practice the same shot over and over until you can do it blindfolded. But can you do it while you're being like hit with a sandbag while you shoot? What about when there's annoying, horrible music in the background or someone shouting in your face? When you're a cleaner, and when everyone's hitting the in case of emergency button, they're looking for you. When you're a cleaner, you don't compete with anyone. You just find your opponent's weakness and you attack. This one's just like, I don't know, I swear a lot of these kind of sound like just like dumbed down Robert Greene chapters, non-historical ones of course. When you're a cleaner, you make decisions, not suggestions. You know all the answers while everyone else is asking questions. And it's weird because some of these almost sound like they're impossible, but I mean, when I think of impossible, I do think of unstoppable. This one is the biggest insult to spending your time thinking instead of doing. There's a section where it's actually kind of funny. He takes a dump on things like drive, inner passion, and like whether the cup is half empty or half full. Let me tell you, I used to be a half empty kind of guy, and then I sort of converted into a half full kind of guy. You know what I am now? Now I'm just I'm thirsty, let's drink it and get back to work kind of guy. When you're a cleaner, you don't have to love the work, but you are addicted to the results. A cooler will make you wish you paid him less. A closer will ask how much and decide how hard he has to work. But a cleaner doesn't even think about the money. He just does the work and knows that you'll be grateful for the privilege of paying him. Whatever he lists the differences between the three in regard to like a certain chapter, I'm just like,
which one describes me? Let's find out.
That's something else I love about this book. He lays these out. He doesn't deliver the information in a way that makes them sound like they're not options. So there's a very empowering aspect to it. You know what I mean? When you're a cleaner, you'd rather be feared than liked. When you're a cleaner, you would trust very few people, and those you trust never let you down. This chapter and the previous chapter really seem to like link together because he dives into like how cleaners approach relationships and teamwork. When you're a cleaner, you don't recognize failure. You know there's more than one way to get what you want. I feel like I already knew this one more than any other one, especially the you don't recognize failure thing because of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which I've probably listened to like 30 or 35, maybe 40 times in total without exaggeration. My main takeaway from this chapter was that success and failure are 100% mental. One person's idea of success might be a total failure to someone else. And it's crazy, I mean, like it really is just about perspective. When you're a cleaner, lastly, you don't celebrate your achievements because you always want more. This one is
an example
of one that I would take with a grain of salt. I think a good amount of these are like, I mean, I'm not a fan of celebration at all, especially if it involves a party, but I do everything I can to love appreciation. Like the one about like you'd rather be feared than liked. Check out Dare to Lead by shame researcher Brene Brown and The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell, and hell, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Tell me you agree with that. And that's just another example. I don't think that this book is written for people who want to see both sides of the coin. Maybe it is, but maybe it's more for people who want to focus on one when maybe they're so used to operating under a perspective of the other. I love seeing both sides of every coin I come across, but it seems this book is for a very special paradigm, if you will, a lens to see through or adopt. I would say the information is dangerous if you're like applying it to a relationship or something. Unless it's like, I'm gonna be relentless about being the best boyfriend ever. I don't know. Quotes. I'm rarely the first guy players reach out to when they want to train. I'm the last. In case of emergency, break glass. This isn't a basketball book, and I'm not going to tell you how to be the next Michael Jordan. No one will ever be Michael Jordan, and Kobe and Dwayne will be the first to agree. In order to have what you really want, you must first be what you really are. Those who talk don't know, and those who know don't talk. I don't talk. Can you be the best? If you say no, I'll give you a moment to change your answer. While speaking about instincts, when you're driving and suddenly the car ahead of you slams on its brakes, would you pause to consider all your options or think of someone to ask for advice? No, you slam on the brakes. Wounds heal, scars don't. You're not playing tonight? That's fine. I'll play for all 5 of us. If you think it's not hard to take the best and find ways to make it better, you've never had to face that challenge. There's no off season when you're serious about being a winner, but you can enjoy that off season permanently when you're cut from the team. Life can be complicated. The truth is not. Direction 1. I recommend this book more than anything for anyone who plays basketball or doesn't play basketball but really likes basketball. Also to anyone who's interested in understanding the differences between the greatest and everyone else. Maybe not psychologically, just like mentally. Just like the different things that they think and how they think about things. How they treat things. The greatest in any career, I can just about assure you, checks out books like this. Being not head above shoulders, that's not enough. Being, or even head above shoulders. I don't think that's enough either. Maybe head above shoulders, above shoulders. It requires this type of hunger that a book of this one's unique nature can describe almost effortlessly. Direction 2. Some pieces of Relentless, as I said, have this more Robert Greene sort of flavor to them. It's much less sophisticated and complex, a little quaint, a little less quaint, and whether all of that's a bad thing, if you ask me, depends on the reader or listener. A relentless attitude I always equated with the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. The most relentless aspects of my attitude, I would say that the 10x rule probably contributed more to than any other book I've ever checked out. If Relentless were about massive ambition, massive thinking, massive actions, I don't think that would actually be the case. But also this author, Tim Grover, and David Goggins, I think would get along really well. You might really like Can't Hurt Me. I think it came out earlier this year. I don't know if Kobe Bryant ever meant David Goggins, but Kobe Bryant did call Tim Grover the master of mental toughness. That's gotta mean something if it's coming from Kobe. Relentless by Timothy S. Grover. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and read the reviews. That and all the other books I mentioned in this video, if you guys want to check those out too. If you guys buy anything through the links in the description, then I get commission, which helps me build this channel to keep making these videos. If there are any other books that you guys want me to check out and review, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you checked out this book and you liked it. But hey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't get why people watch this far into my reviews and they don't subscribe. But if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to get a notification whenever I drop new videos, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.